Hello, hello! Welcome to the show. SykoYoda back here with another adventure in Minecraft. And today, we're not doing what I said we were going to be doing in the next episode because of things happening in real life. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But I felt like having a little bit of fun to start off today with. Also wanted to get that beautiful view. That is an amazing view of our structure we are working on over there. Been doing a little bit of stuff off camera. I'll go ahead and show you that as the episode continues on. But right now, I wanted to get this floating island taken care of. I'm tired of looking at it. It doesn't make sense that it's here. Let's get rid of it, shall we? Lots of mobs being spawned underneath it, which is something that I need to get rid of for the long-term goal of that island over there, and we'll get to that more as we progress on as to why exactly that is necessary. But furthermore, although I do like islands, as you will know by my area, that's where my bed is located, is on top of an island. I don't want to be surrounded by them. If they become too common, it loses its appeal, and I just don't think it works well for this area, especially for the concept we're kind of going for over here. Or I am, I guess I should say. I keep on saying we like everybody else has been involved in this. But nobody else really had... I want to say no one else really had an interest in kind of making something over here. They were all for having the structures and stuff in place to kind of help along, but no one had a concept or an idea that really stuck out to them or what have you. So I just kind of took the reins on that. Not to mention I'm the builder, man. I'm the guy that 24/7 I'm thinking about building things. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing even. If there's building in the game, guess what I'm going to be doing? That goes as far back as I can remember that being a thing in games. Old MMO that we used to play called Dark Ages of Camelot. You can still find it if you look for it. Very old at this point in time, though. I mean, it was dial-up at the time when that game was out. Dial-up was the normal internets. Fast internet has just started poking its head into the world, and they introduced in one of the updates or expansions to the game the ability to have your own house. You could do it as an individual, or you could do it as a guild or what have you. Am I using a silk touch? Yeah. Okay. Do I not? I grabbed the wrong. Dang it. Oh well. Grabbed the wrong pick. So, as a guild, we went ahead and purchased one. There's something you have to pay rent on every month for the lot, and depending on what size of structure that you chose, the rent went up. And there was only, so many options and so many different ways that you could really personalize it. But that didn't keep me from doing it constantly. Like, I was forever changing stuff around, trying to make it a little bit better in layout, try to get as much as we possibly could in the house, and it was fun and entertaining then, and it's fun and entertaining now, As time goes on, these games that come out, like 7 Days to Die we're currently playing, there's just more and more in the crafting. There's more available for you to actually play, all of that stuff, and it makes for entertainment. As far as I'm concerned, building, general layouts of buildings, general interior decorating, all that stuff I've always had a passion for. And I think I've mentioned before that if I had continued my college education that was leading me towards being an architect, I just didn't want to have to deal with the stress that being an architect brought upon you. So enough about that. The reason why I said I wanted to have a little bit of fun today is because, if you look at my inventory here, I got a little bit of dynamite, not much, but since there are these structures that need to be taken care of here. Let's go ahead and throw some dynamite down and watch this stuff disappear a little bit, shall we? Try to get rid of some of this. Just have fun with the bangs and the booms. Got so much dirt at this point. I've been using a little bit here and there to bolster up things and all that, but for the most part, it just means that I have extra supplies of it. And I think that's a good thing. Basically, that's going to help out in the long run with me having some more tradable commodities on the server, and that's kind of part of the reason why we're doing this, is to set up markets and stuff for everybody to trade their goods at. Well, I'm going to have a leg up on that because I'm the one that's been doing all of the digging and stuff on this. I got all this extra stuff, and I've constantly gotten people asking, or not people, Scree asking for dirt on the server. She just doesn't want to take the time to go get it, and she assumes that everybody has extra, and then she finds out that no one has extra of that, because it's not something that people tend to have a lot of extra of. It's a good filler block, you know. Cobblestone works, but usually people use the cobblestone for other things, so. I like the booms, they's fun. How did that knock me forward? That was hilarious. So, I'm gonna keep on tearing this down a little bit. That main structure there is dirt. The main part of the island there is mostly dirt, so it'll go pretty dang quick. And I'm not gonna stick with you all on camera with this whole thing. I just wanted to tear it down. I was thinking about it. Yeah, time for this thing to come down. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this, has some stuff going on in real life, and some of it I cannot talk about. It's personal, it's private. I will say that it has to do with family members, and as of right now, everything is as good as can be about the situation, and we're going to leave that part at that. But it's been causing some stuff around the house, turmoil and whatnot. It just means you're not in the mood to really do anything. You're not in the mood to record. You're not in the mood to play video games. You just want to veg out or do something mind numbing or what have you. So one of the things I've been wanting to do is do a recording session with Rain on here, and since it is affecting her more because it has to do with her family side specifically, we've just had that. We've been dealing with that, and I just as soon just not even push the subject of us recording. I'll wait until she says she wants to record something, and we'll go from there. The other part of that was over the weekend, and this was last weekend, I record a week out as best as I can, and then edit through the week. Is my typical MO for releasing videos. So I'll tell you why it's behind as much as it is. Those that follow me on Twitter will have already seen a tweet about this. My Blazer broke down, and the basics behind it was that a part in the distributor went bad. This part specifically is one that requires you to pull the distributor and take it apart to replace this part. It is a electrical part, not a mechanical part. But as far as things go for the distributor, it's like the worst case scenario that could happen. And we got like a faulty reading when we were doing tests, and misunderstood how the diagnosis actually read. So I replaced a part that didn't need to be replaced, and that didn't fix it. And at this point in time, I just got frustrated, so I replaced everything I could without pulling the distributor, which is expensive. I mean, it's not cheap. It was over $100 after you replace everything, including cap, rotor, and coil. And these kind of things need to be done from time to time anyway. So I was like, I won't have to worry about doing it for a while. It'll all be taken care of. It'll be new. I will know when it was replaced. It's fine. Got all that stuff taken care of. It still didn't fix it. Oh crap. that means I gotta go into the distributor and replace this part. That means I gotta pull the distributor to replace this part. And all the time I spent doing this, which was better part of a day, was just down the toilet. So, what's left to do? Well, the part that needed to be replaced is $40. And I got to pull the distributor to do it. And then I have to pull the distributor apart itself, pull out pins, pull the shaft out of the main housing, and that's the only way to get to this part to replace it, and then put everything back together. A new distributor is only $130 before tax. A $40 part and 3 hours, or a $140 new distributor and an hour's time, and then you can do the adjustments and whatnot, get the timing correct and all that. So needless to say, I went ahead and spent the extra money and did it, even though I just bought everything that I bought again aside from this one part. I went ahead and did it that way. Now, what does this mean? This means that I'm an idiot because I spent more money than I needed to. But on top of that, this means that all I need to do now is just get a $40 part, and I got myself another fully functioning distributor. So my plan is to take the old distributor, rebuild it, to get the last component in there that it has not been replaced, put it back in the box of the new distributor I purchased, and just have it sitting on a shelf just in case anything happens to the one that's currently in there. And because I didn't buy a higher end one, there's always a chance that something's going to fail fairly quickly. And by fairly quickly, I mean, in 4 or 5 years' time. But it could last just as long as any other distributor parts would last. And just because you paid more money for it doesn't mean it's going to be any better. It's just one of those things. It was bad timing. It was definitely a bad time to add the extra stress into everything. Made us feel like, everything was just that much worse, what have you. But it is what it is, and you can only do so much to keep things from happening. And yes, it's an older vehicle, so this is probably why something like this is going to be more common. A 1978 Blazer, that's an old vehicle at this point in time. There's a lot of chances for things to go wrong in the future, just like this. The only way you can keep that from not being a problem is to buy a brand new vehicle or a used vehicle that might as well be brand new. We're talking like 30,000 to 60,000 miles or less, depending on make and model. But then you've went out and spent all of that money. I mean, you're looking at, even for a used vehicle in that range, $12,000–$15,000. So where are you ahead and where are you behind? The only issue is if your car breaks down, you can't drive it. You don't have the transportation. It's not like we have a third vehicle laying around, so there is that component to it. Oh well. Life goes on, and so will I, continuing on with this. We will do some more work here off camera. When I get back to more of the boom boom, I will holler at you. I'm going to drop off all of this stuff I got on me here. Well, let's try this out and see how it works for us. I don't have a lot of TNT here, but I'll do what I can to have a little bit of fun. Space these out. I think it's every 2 is what you want to do. And we'll light the first one, see what happens. See how much of this stuff we can get rid of. That worked out pretty good. I think we can do a couple more passes and eliminate the majority of that. The stone doesn't go away as easy as the dirt does, but if you put it in the right spacing and everything, for some reason it takes out more than it actually should. I don't exactly understand it. I know that a lot of people have done testing on it to try to figure out how it works, but I just quite frankly think there's some kind of chaos variable put into place so that things will not be the same no matter what. That's just my personal opinion on it. Woo! I like blowing stuff up. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to get rid of all this today, but I figured I could work on it here a little bit. And if I do that from time to time, I should be able to get this thing knocked out. Along with that, I can let the others know that I want this to disappear. So if they want some resources, this is a decent place to come get them. But since we already had that conversation about people unwilling to get the resources, it doesn't surprise me that this stuff is still sitting here. You know what I mean? More than likely, if I tell somebody that they can come over here and pull all this stuff, it's still going to be here. Bang, bang, boom! That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Get rid of this area pretty dang quick that way. I only got 4 pieces left. I'll probably use them for cleanup here and there. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the rest of this real quick as the sun sets. And then we'll head over to the main island that we're working on there and show you guys some update progress and maybe work on it a little bit more as well. Went and grabbed some supplies really quick for different various things here. Actually, there's something in here I want to grab as well. Probably have to make some more of those. Let's see here. But I wanted to try this pot thing out. That sounded terrible, didn't it? To see if good. Yeah. To see if this was going to work the way I thought it was. I got a couple of flowers in here, so we'll just use these guys to see if this is going to function the way I'm assuming it does. I also added some netherwort into the mix in the centers here, and that will hopefully make these things grow off to the sides, although I haven't had any pumpkins show up yet, and I don't know if that's going to change. So far, I've only ever had a pumpkin pop in that location. Melons, they seem to be fine. Pumpkins, they're not doing their stuff there. Alright, so what I was thinking is that we'll just find different places to put these things. For now, I can just throw down a pot right here just to test this out. Put a couple down and throw a flower in here. And if I remember correctly, all you gotta do is bone meal them and you'll get that flower. That did not work. Well, I was wrong on that. They must have changed that, or it's only for specific things. Because I'm not getting nothing on this. Let's try. Okay. Well, now we know that's not going to work. So we do know that we have, I think there's 4 again. I know there's the tall white one, and then there's the yellow one as well. Will give us a couple of different colors that we can go with there. The white one just doesn't seem there's no point in doing it really because of the fact that you have. I'm going to keep these with me. They're mine. I made them. You have bone meal that can do the white, so something to think about going on there. I was hoping to get a better dye factory going, and I don't know. I mean, most of the time people find a flower forest and do it that way and make some kind of way of making that produce flowers for them. You know, some kind of dark room or what have you. There's multiple ways that you can automate that nowadays, but I don't really necessarily want to do that. I don't know we'll have to toy around with the concepts as we go forward. I wanted to add in some lights here and there. I got a whole bunch of different places that I wanted to bring these in, but I wanted to show you this as well. This is going to be a staircase that we are introducing opposite of the horse area. It's got those lights in place. Did add some torches in here on these overpass bridges. Just looks kind of cool looking at them from a thing. And I wanted to make it so that no matter where you were in here, there was like very easy access to everything. That's why I'm making it this way. So the stairwells are going to come down. They're going to go down past this and then probably combine again in the center and then split off. And I think I'm going to have one go straight that way out of the mountain and then one going that way out of the mountain. And I may split them in all 4 directions, but I really don't see the point of that. We still have these 3 segments that haven't had anything done to them. I think I'm going to figure out a way to make these into areas for people to sell things, like 1, 2, 3, 4 booths for the 4 of us that are on here all the time. Hello, creeper. And then you can see right here, I also have a bridge. Oh, you moved. My mouse sensitivity is like way high for some reason right now. I don't know if I reset something. Oh, dang it. There we go. Dropped these guys down. There's one way into here. I also wanted to take these lights out and put in these guys here. You know me, I don't like the torches. I never have. I try to eliminate them as much as absolutely possible. It's just my way of doing things. These lights are terribly expensive, but they do give a good atmosphere, so I think it's necessary to add them in and put them in as such. We'll keep the lighting at the appropriate levels, so we shouldn't have any spawning in here. And this way, I don't have to look at the terrible torches everywhere. Also, if we end up finding more horses, this is the place we've been bringing them over so everybody had access to them. The main thing we're obviously missing here at this point is a donkey. Don't have any donkeys. And along with that, the horses we have, they don't have very good stats at all. So we could definitely breed the stats and try to increase them. We have, if I remember correctly, no good jumpers. We have like 1 horse that's got decent speed. And I don't know what Water Bear ended up doing to get his horse or what the stats are on his horse. I just know that he has a horse that he spent some time getting from the stock we have here. So something to always improve upon as we go forward in the server here itself. So that's taken care of. Where that creeper was, I don't know if he spawned on the ledge or what, but that shouldn't be a problem once we go forward. So I got to figure these guys out at some point in time, and I will do that. We also have infinite water supplies, every single one of these things. So there's 8 altogether. I changed the center in here a little bit to bring this to the same level. I didn't like looking through the portal and seeing those blocks, so I wanted to lower that down. Also added some lights in below the chests just to add a little bit more light into the area as such. This is all half slabs, so nothing can spawn on it anyway, but I like to do what I can to reduce the spawning possibilities. Have just the 1 chest here for miscellaneous stuff, and then of course we have our supply chests, and I'm trying to just dwindle those down as much as I can as I continue on. Doesn't look much different from here, does it? We didn't do much more over there. We got the whole edge that we were working on taken care of, and then I took a layer off the top and had a full inventory. As I said, I kind of wanted to work down on this with the stairs, so let's see if I don't have anything on me. Smart Psycho. Go grab some of those real quick here. Probably have to make a few more as well, so I'll just grab that and hit up myself a workbench here. I very much hope that in the next episode we can get back to what I wanted to do for this one. I don't see that being an issue. Just have to wait and see what happens. As of right now, I don't see us having to take any time off or anything like that away from it. I am a little bit behind on my recording stuff at the moment, but we'll see how productive I am this week. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm very, very tired right now. So we are working on it. We are working on it. All right. Let's see how this works for us here. Do the same thing on the other side. Oh, sweet Minecraft music. It's kind of funny. A lot of people got tired of the Minecraft music. I still enjoy it, man. I love it. It gives me the memories feels every time I hear it come on, and certain songs. This one specifically is one of them. Just like, oh, remember the first time we played this? It's like, oh yeah, you know, it's brings back the good feelings. That's for sure. I think we'll go ahead and leave this solid for a little way. I didn't need to take that one out. Go ahead and put that back in there. Kind of fill in some of this here, make a solid look. I probably will tie it into that, so we'll go one more in, I think, on that. That should look pretty good. And then I'm going to converge these two back together one more time and then separate them for good. And I just haven't decided what I want to do exactly yet on, where are we at? On which directions we're going. Wow. See that block flying all over the place. As you can see, I've added in some anvils, and I think that's because I didn't know what to put there at first, and I've been thinking about what to do here, and I'm going to be adding in a crafting bench area. It just makes sense to, or not a crafting bench, an enchanting bench area. It just makes sense to add that in. I'm going to look into doing, if I remember, you can do 3 tall if you elevate it 1. Something of that nature. Put some lights in here. I should be able to get enough bookshelves in place to put it like right here on either side. Have access to that. That's my thought process on this whole thing. Don't know exactly if that's going to work right, but I'll have to plan it out. But I think that's going to work. And then I got the transition figured out into the area here. What the heck? Wow, that was a misclick and a half. Into the area here to have a nice smooth entrance and whatnot. Even got a little bit of a archway thrown in there. It's not something super huge or anything, but found a way to tie in a few of these things that just didn't make sense the way they were set up. Add a little bit of character to it. Also brought those all the way up and changed it so the bridge is the same through, but that squared this out a bit too. Got some nice easy access to that on both sides. This is all half slabbed. If I remember correctly, anvils are not a spawnable block, so that should change that whole thought process as far as, or change, that should create an area that doesn't have spawning in it. We can add another light in there. In fact, I could do that probably like so. Let's see here, see how that looks real quick. I mean, that works too. It's fairly centered on the wall. Got some nice light right there. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't even have to worry about it at that point. And not worrying is a good thing, right? Right. Put that in there and good to go. Yeah, that should do the trick. Nice bright area. Not using any of the torches. You know how I like to avoid those bad boys. So that's probably going to do it for this episode. I don't know how long it is. I feel like I have enough content for a typical episode. If not, I apologize. As I have said, we've had some things going on this week, and I need to move on and try to get some other stuff done, particularly Lego. And I'm stinking hungry, so I'm going to go eat some food. As usual, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget that like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And I hope to see you back here for another adventure in Minecraft very, very soon. I'll see you next time.